on circles, less pulling on clip with no overbending. I learned the script. Okay, perfect. Great precondition. And then let's have a look. Lovely parallel front legs here, slightly hanging over the toes. Keep an eye on this. Yeah, good idea to bring the reins on top of the withers instead of keeping them behind the withers, because this might limit, because they are not long enough simply. Yes, yes, nice, I like it. So much better, although he's slightly hanging over the toes. So the better his balance, the easier it will get anyway. So this is great. So let's see. Tool handling first. What I like is that you have a bit more clear circles here. This is good. Okay, so let's see one more time. Lovely balance here. Upright, straight, and parallel, with the center of mass not being here, but a little bit more here. This is nice. Okay, let's see right from the start. A little, take care of getting this little jerky. When you get in this jerky movement, you know, okay, this is not the way to go. Then it's about maybe backing him one more step up, or going first in the lateral bending as this physiotherapist approach. But here, look, this is nice. I know that he still is this little staccato, that he comes a little staccato down, and this is all because of a bit remaining tension in his muscles, and maybe stiffness or shortened muscles, and this will get for sure better by time. Just keep repeating. Look how much more often you get a yielding and searching like this, and this will evolve for sure. It's just about repeating and staying congruent with what you're looking for. Remember here to recheck the yielding and searching. I know that it might be a bit more challenging from the side, but create this habit that you recheck the suppleness, the balance, and then think of the slight one step back idea, that you create this habit of backwards when you want to go forward, that he's not falling into the movement. Yep. Yeah, better tool handling here. I like that you have a slight contact on the outside rein, not too long, not too big slack here, that you keep your inside rein more close to his neck, and with this also keep his spine a bit more aligned. This is what I really like. Oops. So for sure, better tool handling, better circles. Notice here that he's slightly hanging there. So also here, a habit to create is when you stop, check right away, check. You can shortly scratch him or give him a good boy or whatever for the way how he mentally is doing the transition. So as you say, okay, nice prompt response, lovely, I like it. And then right away check the balance, and to create this habit of rebalancing him into the best possible balance you are able to create together with him, until before you release to change your tools. So this is very important, and this creates a kind of body awareness, muscle memory in the horse for a more balanced standstill, and will add up to your hold actually when it's when we are working more on the quality of the hold by bringing the SLF quality from the LFS to the into the hold actually. So it's not too bad, but when you draw a line here, you see that the front legs are angled backwards and he's slightly hanging here. So what you can do, you can only shift his weight slightly, so it's not about backing up necessarily, but about just shifting the weight shortly. Here you can present your energy towards the chest or twinkle the whip slightly towards the chest and say, hey, can you shift your center of mass ever so slightly back? So this is what I always explain when I talk about the yielding through the pressure you apply. When you apply pressure on the nose, we are checking for the yielding through the pole, so this area, and the yielding of the center of mass back. And most of the time, it's first checking if the center of mass can shift back. So if you are still in dialogue with the center of mass and can shift it slightly back. And the second idea is checking the yielding through the pole. So twinkle the whip a little here and say, hey, can you shift your weight? Yeah. And again, look at this. Although he's slightly hanging here, still a bit staccato as I just explained, but for sure on the right track, Elaine, for sure. The next big step will be to confirm this more and more in the standstill and then bring this to the LFS. To this side, actually, what I notice is that you here don't have a contact or a dialogue on your outside rein. Yeah, you have a huge, look at this, you have a huge slack here, and mainly guide him with your inside rein. Although you're not really overbending him anymore, as you did in the hot seat, but you still, yeah, your inside rein is a bit too prominent when we look at, can you see? So it's slightly to inwards, but this is not the big deal. But you can use this rein to frame his shoulder. So to help him in an indirect way, to help him keep the shoulders on the line of travel and the nose in the middle of the chest, kind of. And not for sure not more in than the inside shoulder is wide. And therefore we have the indirect outside rein. And that's the powerful thing about work in hand, because we don't have this outside rein in groundwork. So this is a lovely addition to help us frame the horse. Yeah, to help us show the horse how, or support the horse on more levels, so to say. Yeah, take care of getting jerky. So there are a couple of possibilities. You can start with this physiotherapist approach. Yeah, a little more lateral bending, a little more up, down. Keep the idea of first talking to the center of mass and then checking the yielding through the pole in mind. And you also can we have two reasons why a horse is not really yielding and searching. It might be a physical reason and a mental. And when it comes to the physical reason, it's most of the time that the center of mass is too much on the shoulders, or that the hind legs are too stiff. And with a bit stiffer horses, maybe both is the case. But then still, the first thing is that we need to shift the center of mass back. And to supple up the hind legs, it might be a good idea to ask the horse to back up on a curved line, that you really, really don't back up straight, but very smoothly ask the horse to bend, to back up on a curved line. And there it helps to bring the head in the opposite direction of where you want him to back up to. So when you want him to back up to the left, you bring his head a little bit more to the right, and vice versa. So this might help. So instead of getting jerky, do something with the body. Rebalance the center of mass, supple up the hind legs, supple up the head and neck as a physiotherapist with going lateral bending, left, right, lower, higher, whatever, but strive for not getting jerky. And I'm quite happy with Jake, and I'm sure he will get smoother and smoother and smoother in his heels. This little staccato, and also the fact that you need to be a bit more precise now and then, this will go away by just repeating. So repetition, actually we need to take, let me come back to you. Here we go. So first of all, we need to help the horse understand, and while explaining him the things, we need to keep him motivated. There is where the 5R formula comes in already for the mind, yeah, that we really can let him know, okay, on the right track, yeah, on the right track, on the right track. Try a little different, offer me something else. This is not quite healthy for you, let's try something else. And then when the horse understands what to do and is motivated to do it, then the repetition, of course the repetition also has a part in the mental thingy, yeah, by repeating the horse starts to connect the dots and knows what this 8 mean. But the repetition part is also super important for the physical part, yeah. So by repeating, by giving the muscles, all the structures, repeatedly the same information and the same challenge, so to say, this will evolve the muscles and will supple up the structures and will improve the coordination, etc. So both is very important. So just be patient, take the time it takes, but be clear, be precise, be understanding, but know where you want to hit and just take him with you. Give him the time he needs mentally and physically, but I'm sure you get there. So I like the improvement. They're always tiny little baby steps in the right direction, so just keep going. I think you're doing a great job with Jake. And yeah, I'm looking forward what these tips I gave you today might give back to your laboratory. Okay,